So you've decided it's time to move and you're ready to sell your home. Now, for the most part, that's a pretty exciting time. List your home, sell your home, and move on to your next place. But for other homeowners, well, not so exciting, certainly not textbook. It's similar to, well, going to the prom and no one asks you to dance. Think back for a moment, your prom days. Now, for some of us, we've got to dust off the archives of our memory to remember the prom. Other of you, well, not so long ago. But either way, picture this. You've got the best outfit on because you've been planning this moment for quite some time. You've got your hair done, your nails done, your shoes look great. You've got the best car to drop you off to the prom and pick you up from the prom. You step through the doors and all eyes are on you. And you're so excited because you've been planning this moment. I mean, you know you look great. And then as time progresses, you're starting to feel a little lonely. No one's asked you to dance. No one's giving you the attention that you were sure you would receive. Now you're getting a little disappointed, you're feeling frustrated, and ultimately you feel rejected. Well, that's how some homeowners feel when their homes don't sell. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 real life stories and 4 real life tips to help your real life home get sold and ready for your real life move. Oh, and also we're going to take a look at some real life fails, and I'm interested in knowing what you think about some of these home improvements and what you would do differently, or some things that you've had to overcome during a sale. Are you ready? Selling your home should be one of the most exciting times and most fulfilling times that you will have because you're moving toward your goals. You have tons of appreciation in your home that translates as equity, which means you've got enough money to help fund your new place. Even if you've only lived in your home for about 3 years, you still should see so much appreciation in that home since you've owned it to help you fund your next place. So usually this is pretty exciting time because you're able to look at so many great options. Now, there are other people that, well, they just don't have that story. You know, they are not happy, they're not celebrating, they're frustrated, and they're angry. This population of homeowners, they have found themselves off market and their homes, as we would say, expired, which means it didn't sell in a given period of time. Now talk about rejection. You think to yourself, now my home was listed, and why didn't anyone select my home to live their lives and share their memories? Let's face it, when you hire a realtor, you have certain expectations, some of which is to make sure my home sells. I mean, that's priority number 1. You would like little to no hassle, and you expect to get a pretty strong offer and a great price for your home and for it to sell in a timely manner. The thing that you did not prepare for is your home not to sell at all. Well, let's just get this show on the road, and I'm going to share with you the first tip of how to get your home from to sell to sold. One of the biggest obstacles to selling your home, and I'm telling you this so you don't make this mistake, because remember, you really want your home to sell, is limiting access to your property. Remember, your home, if it's for sale, it's just a commodity. It's a place you just want to sell, get your equity, get your appreciation, and move on down the road. But people can't purchase what they cannot see. You do have a right as a homeowner to set boundaries for which people can come to your home. And no one needs to see your home at 9 o'clock at night. We get that. They don't need to show up to your home, honestly, before 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock probably should be a safe time. Maybe you work overnights and there has to be a little adjustment. We understand that life happens, but here is the challenge, is when your home is so inaccessible that people can't make an appointment at all. You have such a narrow window of opportunity for people to see your home that you have to be a marksman and hit the bullseye in order for people to come in through the doors and see if they want to live here. And the more resistance you create to showing the home, the less likely they are to get excited when they finally get the chance to take a look around. Here's a real life story I want to share with you about a homeowner that was really rigid about when the home could be shown. So we had 3 showings totally denied, just based on the fact that the buyer could not schedule in this tight window that the seller had created. Now, the seller did work overnights and was exhausted, and I get that. But when you have your home for sale, you have to be a little bit more flexible than you may normally would be, because we do encourage gainful employment when people are purchasing homes. With this particular homeowner, denying 3 showings, she did lose at least 2 offers. And how do I know? Because I followed up with those agents and asked, hey, I noticed that you tried to take a look at the home and you could not get in at that particular time. Can you reschedule within these parameters? Well, guess what? The agents told me no. This was the only time that my client could take a look at the property, and they moved forward with another property that they were able to see. And that's a bitter pill to swallow, to know that you had 3 opportunities. And in this case, 2 of the 3 opportunities, the buyers moved on with another property because we had too many restrictions with the time. Moral of this story, be flexible. You can sleep later. And it's okay. Let's be honest, life happens. If you're sick, yes, we need to, deny access to your property. But I'm talking about those homeowners. If this is you, I'm talking to you. If you have made up in your mind, you only want your home seen 3 out of the 7 days of the week, and your home can only be shown 4 hours of those 3 out of the 7 days a week. That's a real tough sell. So please, if you decide to have those restrictions, I would also encourage you to have the open mind that it's going to take your home much longer to sell. And the longer it's on the market, usually the less you're going to get for your home, because now your home is stale. So make sure your home is accessible to view. Okay, when was the last time you were able to buy something that you could not see, especially at the price tag of a home? Number 2, I like to call this part lights, camera, action. Your home is ready to be shown. It's listed in the MLS. You got the realtor on your side, and they're doing their best to take the best pictures they can. And remember, your photographer, they're not a miracle worker. They're not magicians. I mean, they can airbrush some things out, but if they're having to drop a whole new house that's not yours because your home is not really ready, although you said it was, then that's going to create an issue, because your potential buyer is looking online for those pictures. And these are the things they don't want to see. Think to yourself, if this sounds like your home, or if this looks like your home, some of the things that you might want to do differently. Oh, and before I show you these pictures, I'm going to share some pictures with you. I wanted to tell you about a DIY fail. This homeowner went through the effort of having the bathroom updated. I wouldn't say remodel, because I assume that remodel involves a contractor, and this would not have happened if the contractor was employed. However, the toilet paper holder was so far from the actual toilet that you would have to stand up and walk a few feet to get to the roll of toilet paper. Now let's talk about practical. Does that even make sense? I know that some of us are very thrifty and we can do it ourselves, but this is the time to go ahead and hire a contractor to do the work for you. Oh, and for those of you who also say, well, I've lived that way, so if I can live that way, so can they. Well, your buyer doesn't have to. The buyer can choose another home. So if you are nose blind, or you just don't see your home like other people, this is when you want to rely on that third party, your realtor, to share with you some ideas of how to improve your space. Okay, now I want to share these pictures with you. And if you can identify these spaces as yours, let's not do it. Let's go ahead and fix, correct, and improve. And if this is something you can relate to, or you recognize from when you sold your home, I'd be interested in your comments. Let's take a look. One of the first things that people will know when they enter your home is the scuffs, the paint, the dirty carpets. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, I'll just give them a carpet allowance. Yeah, well, you still ruined that first impression because they see the dirty carpet. Now their thought is, can I take my shoes off and walk on this dirty carpet, or will I have to replace it? Now, anytime the buyer thinks they have to do things like replace or paint anything, trust me, the price tag to that buyer to repair, replace, or improve is going to be like 3,000% higher than if you were to do it now and just remove those objections. I have been in places where there are, well, lack of being tactful, the house just smells. And they cover up, the homeowner would try to cover up the smell with some type of fragrance in every outlet. Well, the buyer's going to wonder, what are you covering up? So now their imagination again is running wild. Oh, look at this particular picture where you see, this is actually an ice maker. The ice maker is not in the kitchen. The ice maker is on the side of the staircase. Now, how is that for practical placement? So that would be something you would want to correct. Now, sure, you live that way, but that doesn't mean the buyer wants to. Or maybe you have some built-ins. Now, there was a certain time that architectural, having built-in bookcases, well, that was the thing to do. Now, by some definitions, it looks dated. So you might want to remove those. I know you don't want to. I'm just telling you that it may be something to consider if it's going to help you get more money. So some of those built-ins may need to be removed. Or if you have certain wood tones, you might want to darken them, put something rich. Depends on what's in during that time that you're ready to sell your home. And take a look at your granite in your kitchens and your bathrooms. If they are really, really dark, well, right now that might look dated. So the buyer is thinking, now I've got to replace the granite. So the moral of the story is, get someone in there and please listen to their advice. And if you need to improve or update, go ahead and do it because it should bring you more money in the long run. Okay, now here's your story, real life story. I recommended to a homeowner to replace the carpet or the floor. What was going on is you had like 3 different flooring patterns all in eye shot. I mean, the kitchen had flooring, the living room had flooring, the hallway had different flooring. Well, when it's so chopped up, first it just looks like a mosaic design. Well, where do I start? But it also makes the space look smaller rather than having that nice flow. And all the buyers are going to think is, I've got to replace this floor. So it would have taken, a few $1,000s. I mean, no sense of kidding about it. It's not going to be cheap at first, but putting and investing those few $1,000s into that space made it look so much better. How do I know? Because I inherited the listing. It didn't sell before. So once I recommended to do a few of these changes, it gave the home a whole new facelift. It looks so much better and it sold for a higher price in a much shorter time. And the key word, sold. It actually sold when they went through the effort of making it, sellable. So that tip is to update, improve, and remember, we can't falsify listings. Your home really needs to look like it does in the pictures. And the best thing is if it looks even better than the pictures. And number 3 is the price right. Now, I know if you're like any other homeowner and every other homeowner, you want the most money you can get for your home because the more money you make, the more money you can apply toward your next place. I get that. Who wouldn't want that? But here is the challenge. You have to have a current market analysis that doesn't necessarily reflect or support the number you want, but one that is proven. And I would highly recommend you narrow that window to maybe the past 90 days. Real story time. I recommended a price to a homeowner. Well, are you kidding me, Tracy? There's no way. I can't leave that kind of money on the table. Well, ma'am, sir, Mr. Mrs. Seller, there is no money on the table. all of this, all of these numbers and prices, they are hypotheticals. This is based on what has been proven to have sold, not what's listed for sale, because listing your home for sale, that really means very little. What we want to look for is what people are actually paying for your home. And we can fantasize all day about what you think your home is worth. But if it's not priced right, it's just not going to sell. Today's buyer is a little bit more judicious with their money. Now, 2 or 3 years ago, oh man, it was mayhem. People were bidding way over the price for a home. They were presenting appraisal waivers. They didn't care what the value was. They were buying that house, even if they had to bring $500,000 more to the table to get it. That has slowed down. So please, I want to make sure you have the right expectation and mindset of our market, and make sure you have the home price right. Price overcomes all objection. So let's say you just cannot pay to get the carpet replaced. If the home has to be priced in its current condition, then it needs to be priced in its condition, not what you think the neighbor got for the home, because the neighbor's home may already have those improvements. Here's what I don't want for you, and this is what real story, and this is what has happened, is, you know what, I just got tired of the fight. I mean, I'm just going to tell you the truth. I got tired of fighting these homeowners. And I thought to myself, you know what? Okay, fine. Let's put that price out there and see who bites. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone doesn't care about how outdated and obsolete this floor plan is. Let's see who's going to jump on this. However, my professional opinion is if we don't get a nibble in 10 days or within 10 showings, let's reduce the price. I said, I'll give it to you. Let's try it. Well, day 14 into 21, no nibbles, no offers. We finally dropped the price. We like to say adjust the price to where it should have been. Within a week, they got an offer. In fact, they got 2 offers. So pricing it right is the key. And you know what? They probably got an even higher price, maybe more offers, had it been priced correctly at the beginning. Because what homeowners think is that they're losing money. You're not losing what you don't have. Our job is to get you the money. But if you're standing in the way, we can't get you there. And number 4, now this one I want you to lean in and get. Pick your team wisely. And the captain of your team is your realtor. I know that some of you say, well, my cousin got her license, my neighbor's got her license, and that's great. If those people have proven they can get the job done. And I understand sometimes you feel a little pressured if your best friend got her license, and if I don't use this person, it's going to be real awkward when we go out to dinner. But this is a huge transaction that should bring huge reward and benefit. Sometimes we may have to forego that relationship to protect our wealth and our growth in real estate. Not that we're denying it, we're still friends, we're still cousins, we're still great together. But it's almost like going to a surgeon. You don't just jump on the first surgeon you see and decide, I want this person to do my heart surgery. You do a little investigative work, you do a little asking around. And then you pick the best surgeon, not the cheapest surgeon, but the one that can actually get the job done and provide you with a sustainable, if not an improved life. And when you interview realtors, because some people do, I get that. I don't have any problem with that. I respect it, because as a consumer, as a homeowner, you have a choice. But you also need to acknowledge your personality. If you are sitting across from a realtor and you feel as though you're running the show, meaning you've picked the price and you've kind of rebuffed their suggestions, and that person seems to be like, okay, I'll do it, then I would ask you this. How strongly would that person present your home to another realtor or to a buyer if they were to bring an offer. Because if they can't stand up to you, their client, their partner in getting this home sold, how are they going to defend and stand up to an offer, or does not have the confidence to say to you, I understand and I respect your position. However, in my experience, I have noticed that most people are getting the best results when they price their home in this range, or when they prepare their home by doing these improvements. You're not looking for someone to just nod their head and agree with you. That's great. But you're also looking for someone who's going to advocate and look out for you even when you're in the way. Well, there are so many things that I could tell you, and so many stories that I could share about the joys and the woes of selling your home. But at the end of the day, if you are considering moving and you plan to sell your home, you expect your home to be sold. These were 4 tips that will help you get there. And if you are thinking about moving and selling your home in our Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex, it is not a one-size-fits-all. I want to look at your property, do a diagnostic, visit with you about what I see and what I think we can do to improve your space, the inside and the out, the curb appeal, the interior, because a person is not only purchasing an address, they're purchasing a lifestyle, and they want to feel like they can live their lives in your home, which may mean you need to pack up some of your things. You're moving anyway, so just pack it up. And I want to have a real nice conversation with you about where you plan to move once you sell your home. Hey, I'm a realtor in our Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex, and I help people sell their homes on a regular basis. Whether you're planning to move across the street, across the town, or across the country, I want to help you get there. I have a great partnership of other agents in different parts of our United States and a few overseas. Hey, do me a favor, reach out. Comment below, email me, give me a call, and let me help you work out the steps of getting your home from sale to sold.